to ask you a question. I want you to answer honestly.
Okay.
Which I know you worked here a while, so you may know more than the average person. But making this video for just average Joe, that if their air conditioner breaks down, what do you do? If your air conditioner broke down, what would you do?
First thing I would do, I'll check the thermostat and see what temperature is on. Particularly if it's anything under 67, it's like 62, and it's not cold, I know it's a problem. That's the first thing I would go for is thermostat.
Okay.
For sure.
What about after that?
Thermostat is extremely low, and obviously that. I'm biased. I'm calling Kenneth. I'm biased.
That's a good answer. And by all means, we want you to do that. Of course, if you just want to give us a call, but you want to check a few things before you panic and you call somebody. We're going to be there, of course. But if you want to just go through a few things and just check, and maybe you can get it up and going, and you'll be the hero of the day with your family. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to go through a few things. They're just minor things that you can do to look at if your air conditioner stops working. Just to say, Johnny's sitting there Saturday afternoon, and he's like, "Man, it's getting warm in here." Obviously, the first thing, just like I said, good point, because especially this time of the year where it's springtime here in Georgia, so in the morning it's heat, and then in the afternoon it's AC. So that's the first thing. Go to the thermostat, make sure it's turned down below whatever the temperature in the room is, and make sure it's on AC. That's the first thing. If you've done that, you do need to give some time. Home air conditioners are not like car air conditioners. They're low and slow like a crock pot, right? They have to take the humidity out and things like that. So if there's a lot of humidity in the air, it's going to take a couple hours maybe to bring it down.
Makes sense.
But if you go to your thermostat, let's say you went to your thermostat and it's set down to below whatever the room temperature is. The second thing that I want you to do is check your air filter. Okay? Because your air filter is very important. It's a very important aspect. I know it's just like a little cheap thing that you throw away, but it's very important. Because if your air filter is clogged up, it's going to make the air conditioner not work. Obviously, check your filter. There's a filter on every system. While you're there at that unit, though, look for any signs of water, because generally there's a drain pan underneath the system. If it's been freezing up, or if you have a water leak or something like that, you may have some water in the drain pan. At that point, you definitely need to give us a call. Your air conditioner should not leak inside the house. If you ever have water by your air conditioner, give us a call. You need to have a professional take a look at it.
Makes sense.
The third thing is check your breaker. Especially if you've got a lot of thunderstorms and things like that, that could cause just some issues, some lights flickering. If your system's trying to turn on while you have a power surge or something like that, it could trip that breaker. So if you've gone through all three of those steps, basically at that point, if it's still, you've checked it and everything looks good and you're still not getting cooling, you definitely give us a call. We'll come right out and we'll get you checked out. I'll show you exactly how to check a breaker. All right, so we're at our electrical panel right now. So I'm going to show you how to check your breakers to see if they're tripped or even if they're off. So you got all of them are pretty much the same. They're different brands and things like that. This is obviously our warehouse. This is a pretty big box, but generally you can see all of these breakers are all in the same position right now, all down through here. So you always have a chart up here of what is what. And you can see all in ours, we have AC, we have roof fan, we have AC. In a residential home, you'll have probably AC and then furnace or air handler and AC or something to that effect, or heat pump or something. But you always have two breakers for a residential system. So for every system you'll have two breakers. But all of these right now, you can look down through the whole thing and you see all of them are in the same position. They're all pointed towards the middle. Now, these ones at the top are single pole. They just have one button. These here are actually three-phase, which you won't have that in your home, but this is a two-pole here. It has two buttons on it. Generally, a condenser will have a two-pole, and your furnace will have a single. But you want to check both of them because your furnace actually, the controls for your AC are inside your furnace. So if that's tripped, you will still have problems with your AC. So I'm going to pick this one. This is actually our warehouse heater, and we'll show you the positions of it, which it says on here on and off. But you have to be kind of careful, because if it trips, it'll actually be in a middle position like this. So you can't just turn it back on. What you have to do, if it's tripped, if it's in the middle position, you need to turn it all the way off, and then you need to reset it by turning it on. So I'm going to do that again so you can see, because if you have a tripped one, it's very important that you don't just turn it back on. If it's in the middle position like this, you need to turn it off and then turn it on, and that will reset the breaker. Now, if it immediately trips again and does that, you definitely need to give us a call. That means you have a short somewhere, so we need to come out and address that. But generally, if it's off and you come to the breaker and it's like that, just go over there and turn it on. Shut your breaker box. See if your air conditioner's running. And that's how you check your breaker.